on the death of a favorite cat. The poet is Thomas Gray. About the poet you have on the next page. Thomas Gray was an English poet who is best known for his poem Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard. That is, he was walking through the country churchyard, he saw all the graves there, and then he thinks about whose grave it is, and he says whether it is the grave of a rich man or a poor man, or whether it is the grave of a king or a beggar, all will come to the same level. That is what, these are the thoughts which go through his mind when he walks through the graveyard. So we say that death is a leveler. Death makes all people equal. Ode on the death of a favorite cat. Now, ode is usually a poem about a noble person, a heroic deed, an important person who has done a big heroic deed. So here, a cat is very unimportant. It's a small animal. It does not do anything heroic at all. So the style of the poem is mock heroic style. It is written in the mock heroic style. It is an ode. It is given there on top of this page. This poem is about the true incident of the death of Gray's friend's cat. The poem uses the serious language and style of an ode. A lofty style, a very high kind of writing like. To laugh at the excessive importance given to a pet. Thomas Gray is making fun, actually is mocking about people who give too much of importance to their pets. In doing so, it also gently makes fun of the poet's fellow men and women. Not only people who give importance to their pet, but also he makes fun of men and women, the weaknesses of men and women. Now, the poem, it was on a lofty vase's side where China's gayest art had died. The azure flowers that blow, the merest of the tabby kind, the pensive silly mere reclined, gazed on a lake below. Now, poetry, apart from the point of view of exams, a poem, you have to learn to appreciate the poem. That is a liking for the poem. Once you are able to appreciate poetry, then naturally everything will follow in place. You will understand the poem, you will understand the message in the poem, you will understand the questions and answers also. So the main thing in studying literature and also poetry, apart from all other forms of writing, is for the sake of appreciation. Appreciation comes first. It was on a lofty vase's side. So the incident takes place near a very tall vase, lofty. So the word lofty, the first word, something high, mighty, where China's gayest art had died. On the vase there is a beautiful painting, and it is the azure flowers that blow. Azure flowers means blue. The vase is painted with blue flowers. And near the vase there is a cat. Demurest of the tabby kind. Tabby is a name given to the cat. Like you say, canine refers to dog. So tabby refers to cat. Azure is blue flowers. Demurest of the tabby kind. So what kind of a cat it is? It is a very shy cat. The pensive silly mere reclined. It is very thoughtful. And it is thinking about something. What is it thinking? It is thinking about the bowl of fish. The pensive Selimia reclined. Recline means relaxing. She is in a very leisurely mood. She is sitting near the vase. She is very thoughtful. She is a shy cat. Gazed on the lake below. She is looking at the lake. Now remember, this is only a bowl of water and the poet refers to it as lake. So notice the mock heroic style. There is only a little bit of water in that bowl and the fish is swimming in the bowl, but he uses the word lake. It was on a lofty vase's side where China's gayest art had died. The azure flowers that blow, demurest of the tabby kind, the pensive Selimia reclined, gazed on a lake below. Her conscious tail her joy declared. She's moving her tail. Conscious tail means moving, twitching. And this movement of the tail enables us to understand that the cat is happy, joy, full of joy in her heart. Her conscious tail her joy declared, the fair round face, the snowy beard, white whiskers, and it has got a round face, a fair round face, the velvet of her paws. Now this cats have pads like on their paws, and it is soft as velvet. When a cat walks, you can hardly hear the footprints, the noise of the cat walking. That is because her paws are very soft. The velvet of her paws. Her coat that with the tortoise wise, her ears of jet and emerald eyes. On the coat, that is the fur, the hair of the cat, it is tortoise wise. The pattern on the shell of a tortoise. Her coat that with the tortoise wise, her ears of jet, she has black eyes and emerald eyes, green eyes. Black ears, green eyes. She saw and purred applause. Applause means satisfaction. She's happy. She purrs. That is the sound which a cat makes. And it is because showing her happiness. It is revealing her happiness. Still had she gazed. She's continuing to look at the water in the bowl. Still had she gazed, but midst the tide. Now notice the word tide used for the water in the bowl. Such big words. Tides in the sea, no waves in the sea. So again, mock heroic style. Still had she gazed, but midst the tide, two beauteous forms were seen to glide. Gently swimming in the water were two beautiful forms, two beautiful shapes. Two beauteous forms were seen to glide, the genii of the stream. They are the spirits of the stream. Genii, if you have read the story of Aladdin and his wonderful lamp, Aladdin rubs the lamp and the spirit comes. And he can wish something or ask for something of the spirit. The genii of the stream. Stream, again, the word stream, used for water in the bowl. Mock heroic style. Their scaly armor Tyrian hue. Tyre is a place which is noted for purple cloth. And purple is a royal color. It is the color of kings. Scaly armor Tyrian hue. There's music in the words also. That is where the appreciation comes. Scaly. Scaly, the scales on the fish. Armor. The scaly armor Tyrian hue. That is, there is purple color, there is also gold color, and the scales of the fish protect the fish just like an armor is a weapon which protects the soldier when he goes to battle. Tyrian hue, I told you, purple color, a royal color. Tyre, it is Tyrian, stands for Tyre. Their scaly armor Tyrian hue through riches purple to the view. There is purple color, there is also golden color, betrayed a golden gleam. Purple and gold, that is the color of the fish. The hapless nymph with wonder saw, again used for the fish. Nymph. Nymph is a supernatural figure, and it is usually found in very poems which tell about wonderful deeds or heroic deeds done by warriors. This character comes in, but here it comes in when the cat dies in the bowl of fish. The hapless nymph, that is unfortunate fish. The hapless nymph with wonder saw, she so surprised. The fish is very surprised. A whisker first and then a claw. First she saw the whiskers of the cat. Then she saw the claws of the cat. Claws, the nails on the paw. A whisker first and then a claw. With many an ardent wish, That is eagerly wishing. The cat is eagerly wishing to catch hold of the fish in the bowl. With many an ardent wish, very eagerly, she is trying to get her food. She is happy. With many an ardent wish, she stretched in vain to reach the prize. The prize refers to the fish. So all along you notice that mock heroic style in this ode. Now the poet asks two rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions means the answer is implied in the question itself. These are the two questions. What female heart can gold despise? Is there any woman who does not love gold? Answer is there. All women naturally have an attraction for gold. What female heart can gold despise? What cat's averse to fish? Similarly, cats cannot hate fish. Just as women love gold, so also cats love fish. Averse means hates. A cat cannot hate fish. What cat's averse to fish means it is the nature of a cat not to hate the fish. The hapless nymph with wonder saw a whisker first and then a claw. With many an ardent wish, she stretched in vain to reach the prize. What female heart can gold despise? What cat's averse to fish? Presumptuous maid, that is very bold. The cat is very bold in wanting to try and catch the fish. Presumptuous maid refers to the cat. Again the use of the word maid, heroic style. Maid is applied to persons, to people. Presumptuous maid with looks intent. Very carefully she is looking. Again she stretched, again she bent. Now she cannot reach the fish because the fish is moving. So she tried again. Again she stretched, again she bent. Nor knew the gulf between. Gulf is also a very big word. It is used for the distance between the cat's paw and the fish, which is a very small distance. But gulf you use the word for a big distance. So mock heroic style. Again she stretched, again she bent, nor knew the gulf between. Malignant fate looked on and smiled. Malignant fate means evil, because the cat is going to be killed. Fate is what your destiny, what is going to happen to you. Again the cat is spoken of as a very important person. So I told you in the beginning, mock heroic style. Malignant fate sat by and smiled. Fate is abstract, but the poet is saying the cat does not know that it is the end of his life there. Malignant fate looked on and smiled. The slippery verge her feet beguiled. She slipped. At the edge of the bowl she slipped and tumbled headlong in. She tumbled headlong in. She fell into the bowl of fish. Her head first, like that, tumbled headlong in. 8 times emerging from the flood. There is a saying that a cat has 8 lives. It is very difficult to destroy a cat. So 8 times emerging from the flood. Again notice the word of use of the word flood for the water in the bowl. 8 times she tried to save herself, emerging, trying to come out of that bowl. 8 times emerging from the flood. She mewed to every watery god. She tried to save herself by crying out to some god. So the cat is spoken of as a very important person here. She mewed to every watery god some speedy aid to send. Speedy aid quickly. She asked the gods, she's praying to the god to send some help very quickly. Speedy aid. Aid is help. Speed is very quickly. Some speedy aid to send. No dolphins came, no nereid stirred. Dolphin is a big animal. So because it is a mock heroic style, the poet is saying neither the dolphin nor the nereid. Nereid also is a mythical character, usually used in legends to save very important people. We'll come to that afterwards. No dolphin came, no nereid stirred, nor cruel Tom, nor Susan heard. A favorite has no friend. Usually, if you are a favorite, either in the house or in the school, other people are jealous and they try to harm you. So you become the victim of jealousy if you are a favorite. Now the cat was a favorite in the house. So even the servants did not come to her help when she is drowning. She's crying out for help. She's mewing for help, but nobody came. No dolphin came, no nereid stirred, nor cruel Tom, nor Susan heard. A favorite has no friend. Favorite, it has no friend. If you are a favorite, if you are liked by everybody, if you are more popular than others, you arouse hatred in other people. And then you become the victim of their hatred and envy. Victim is when there is an accident, the person who is hurt badly or the person who dies in the accident is called the victim. So here the cat is the victim. A favorite has no friend. From hence beauty is undeceived. Now he is making a general statement. You must be very careful. You must look before you leap. You must not jump into situations where there is danger. You also must not make decisions very quickly. You should think before you decide anything. That is the message in this poem. From hence beauty is undeceived. That is beauty is beautiful women or even handsome men it can be. From hence beauty is undeceived. Those who are not yet cheated, those who are not yet deceived. No one false step is ne'er retrieved. There are cases when you cannot go back. When you make a decision, it is final. There is no going back. That is not always, but in many cases. No one false step is ne'er retrieved. And be with caution bold. You must be very careful. Not all that tempts your wandering eyes and heedless heart is a lawful prize. You must be thoughtful. You must be careful. You should not be careless. Otherwise you will have to pay the price. Like the cat paid the price with her life for her greed in wanting to catch the fish. Nor all that glitters gold. That saying is there in Malayalam also. Everything that shines, everything that glitters is not gold. So sometimes some things might appear good, but you should be careful. You should not run after things which are useless, which will not give you any benefit. So with that, we close the poem and I will revise it once more in the next class.